big greenhouse in Needles, California here, and a big day for everybody, a big reveal. And what did you find at this big greenhouse here?
Well, we've done 2 investigations, and during that time, we were able to have several experiences. One of them right here in this room. We had set up a REM pod. We set up some trigger objects, trigger devices, and we were fortunate enough to have those move. And then we were fortunate enough to have an 8-year-old little girl that conversed with us through the use of a REM pod, which is a device that emits an electromagnetic field, and the spirit has to break that in order to communicate with you. And so we sat here asking questions, and that little girl was responding to us continuously.
What was the response or some of the things that was said?
Just, we were narrowing in that she was an 8-year-old girl. So we had asked, are you 6? Are you 7? Are you 8? These types of questions until you finally get a response. So you try to do yes and no types of questions, and then dial in, what her age or what happened to her. Oddly enough, once we got to where we asked the question how she died, she stopped. So that was a sore spot, obviously, and she pulled away. So that it all stopped at that point.
Right. There was some part of the conversation where she felt more comfortable with a one-on-one conversation. She definitely opened up and reacted to the device with one person.
And was in this room here.
It was right here. And it would respond to the actual questions as they were being asked. So
there was a point where I sat in that corner by myself.
Right here?
Yep.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
And the REM pod was here on the bed. And then I sat there for 20 minutes asking questions, and she kept responding back and forth with those questions. And make the light go off, and make it go off, and I'd say stop, and it'd stop. Start, stop. So you try to get something intelligently responding to exactly what you're asking it to do.
Have you heard about before when you did the investigation? You heard a little bit about maybe a little bit about this girl or who is?
No, we're still going to be researching it more. I mean, this house changed hands numerous times, so it could be any combination. But this is why we come back and reinvestigate locations. So you come in, you collect some evidence, you see what you get. So now we know we're dealing with an 8-year-old little girl, at least one of the spirits. So when we come back, we'll focus on that more. Now we'll go do some more research. We'll try to see if we can figure out who this 8-year-old little girl was. We know that a sore spot was when we started talking about her death. So it's important that we figure out why she died and why does she not want to talk to us when we bring that up. So we have to make her feel more comfortable.
It sounds like a lot of people were asking about that they wondered,
Some of the other problems are that the spirit may not be tied directly to the house. It could have been brought in from another object such as this bed. This bed may not have been here the entire time. So that spirit could very well have been brought in.
Now, had you found anything else in any other rooms?
Oh yeah. We had a lot of interaction between.
If you want to go through, through here. If you've been in the house, if you've been in this house here, the room goes right to this room here.
Right.
You could see the closet here.
And so this room right here, specifically this corner, had a lot of activity. We had a camera be actually pushed in our hand as we were filming, focusing on the REM pod and a couple other devices down here.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were filming, we start to notice the camera move. And after it happened several times and we mentioned it, we invited each one of us to take a spot and actually hold the camera here. And
John took the camera second.
Right, John took the camera second, and it actually pushed his arm up.
Whoa.
And it startled him so much he swore somebody was in this back closet. And there was nobody here. So then we invited Lyle to grab it, but all of it took place right here, and of course it happened to him as well. He couldn't believe it. So
now, oddly enough, when our medium came in,
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't up here when we were doing this, so she had no idea this was occurring. And when we came in through this door, she right away went over to this corner, and she said, something's right here, something's happening right here.
She picked
up. This is where everything was happening with the camera. And it, basically, like Ray said, when you held it, you could just feel something move your hand on you.
So you
like
felt
a kid, maybe a little kid reaching up, what is that?
So you think it might have been the same? It was in the other room, possibly.
Might have been. We just
no
don't
telling.
know.
There really isn't. But the one thing that Jennifer did notice is that there was she picked up on two spirits, two youths, small kids, and a motherly kind of overseer. So it felt in
She
my
said
opinion,
a boy and a girl.
a boy and a girl, but it felt, in my opinion, that it was the girl, because it really did feel comforting, and it seemed like it was attached to the guys. The interaction was always with the guys, no matter where we went, upstairs, downstairs, this room, that room, and like Lyle said, it felt like somebody wanting to see, like a kid would naturally grab, what do you got, and want to see what you're looking at. Is kind of how it felt.
Yeah. One of the other experiences, we'll go back in here.
Yeah,
Ray and I
cut right
kind of
through here. Yeah. After you.
So basically, Ray was standing right here, and I was right here, and he was filming.
I had my camera,
and
tripod.
all of a sudden he starts saying, "I feel something touching the back of my head," and I kind of started to comment on that for a second. And the next thing you know, I felt like this grab and pinch right on my thigh. Well, I responded by jumping, and we kind of banged into each other, and the camera got knocked.
Right.
But that was one of the most profound things we had, because it was an actual grab. And then tell them about on the corner of the bed.
Yeah, that was the first night. So then the second investigation, a week later, 2 weeks later, we were getting close to the end of the night, and we spread out. All three guys came up here, and I actually leaned up against this wall here. And I kind of leaned my back up against it and let out like it'd been a long night. My back was a little sore. And then so I set my camera right here, just like that.
Right there in that spot?
Right here, looking that way. And right after I let it go, and I stood back, something went across the corner like that. A mist, some kind of white haze. It was clear that there was something.
It's on. We showed it today.
So you got
but you could see that mist.
And of course, again, the video everybody will be able to see on your guys' Facebook page, correct? And
YouTube. A lot of
YouTube.
different stuff we'll be posting.
How were people reacting to what they were seeing?
I think they were shocked. I mean, it's most people that see things for the first time, they're taken back a little bit by it.
Right.
Now, this happened during the night, maybe early morning hours?
Everything we do is the middle of the night. So
it was AM hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it was. But most of the public didn't get to see that footage. We played a little bit of it towards the end. But
the public didn't see it, but the owners and stuff that were hard to reveal.
How did they react to it?
They liked it. It's cool stuff.
Pretty surprising.
The other thing is that did you hear any like noises, anything like that too?
Like footsteps. We were coming up the stairs at one point early in the evening, and this was the first investigation. And Lyle was leading the way coming up the stairs,
and these are the stairs that are right
here,
over here.
Yeah, so come here. We'll show you.
Yeah,
real quick.
after you.
So basically, we were probably about right in this area.
Yeah. So I would be behind him, and all of us trying to get past him.
So as we got to this area, all of a sudden we could start hearing footsteps on this hallway here. And of course, there was nobody else here. We just kind of sat there, kept listening. We had audio running, so we were lucky enough that as we got up a little bit closer, we started catching, this footstep going across.
And this is the same area where the previous owner said that she had come around this corner and saw a family coming down the
man,
hallway.
a woman, and a child.
Right.
Really?
And she said that the child that she saw was a little girl.
Right.
So Jessie Dolan that used to live here, she said she was coming up these stairs like this, and she got just about up here to the top, and when she went and turned like this, she said there was a man, a woman, and a child, a young girl coming, and then they just disappeared. And oddly enough, the things that we're capturing are leaning towards a young girl.
When did this person saw this? This was
when she lived here. This was some years ago when she was still living here in the house.
Same time around the night, early morning hours?
No, she said it was just evening, just coming up the stairs.
Whoa.
We have one photo with like a mother, a father, and a little girl in between them. We have no idea
the original
if that has
owners.
any relation, but it's pretty suggestive that might be it.
What about anything on the first? The first floor and basement areas.
Basement, we did nothing really on the first floor. But the basement, you want to go down to the basement?
Yes, yes.
Well, we did have one event downstairs in the kitchen.
Oh, we had the door slammed too the first night when the reporter was here.
That's right. That's right.
Where was
Front
this?
door as you walk up the stairs.
Let's go. Let's check out. Yeah.
John, you want to lead that one?
Anything in the bathroom or anything out here?
No.
Okay.
All I was going to say about the kitchen was the power.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's true, huh? Yeah.
We're now on the first floor here.
So the first day we were here, it was daylight like this.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting, and Lyle and a reporter were sitting here, and we had a couple other people here. That front door outside was closed.
This one, the one with the window here, correct?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that was closed.
And this door was about here,
Okay.
and we had a photographer was standing right about here, just listening to everything go, and the door just boom slammed shut.
Yeah, when it's slammed,
Just-
we're talking. I mean, like right now, she's opening doors, moving stuff. Drafts are moving. This door's not moving. That typically,
It's a heavy door.
yeah, I mean, it's not going to move easily. But when it's shut, it was just like that.
Just like that.
That's how much force it shut.
How did everybody react, especially the reporter?
Well, it got your attention,
Right. Everybody was looking for whoever came in. Is kind of the feeling.
And it wasn't windy that day. And down it's not windy because that's the weather.
Wind
Yeah.
was not what caused it.
Wow. And it was that hard when it's.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is a heavy door.
Yeah.
And like I said, with that being closed, there
was no
breeze
wind.
coming in or anything.
And the windows weren't
Well,
open
even-
either. It
you
doesn't
can
look like
see
the
a
windows
small
cannot
breeze
open.
outside right now. You could open them.
But it looks like the windows are closed. Were those closed during it
Oh,
too?
yeah, everything was
Alright.
closed. Yeah, the whole place
Whoa.
was buttoned down. There's windows around the house right now that are open, and this isn't moving.
Right.
The windows were closed, the doors were closed, everything was buttoned up, and we were just talking.
And this was again. You said what time was this again?
This had to be about
5,
6:30.
6.
Yeah, 6:30.
Whoa.
It was still way light out.
And you said now the kitchen had something
Yes.
up to you. Whoa. Find a lot of stuff out here in this house.
Yeah, so here's where we were setting up our home base, basically. So we had all our monitors, all our computers, equipment here, and we started having the girls were having some activity upstairs.
We had just come back
Yep.
from being touched.
And so
Lyle
all
and
of a
I came
sudden,
down.
when they started telling us what was going on, our walkie-talkies and our monitors started flashing and like, you know, and just doing things we'd never seen them do before.
The flashing lights. Those mean when the lights were going off. What does that mean?
On the REM pod?
Yeah.
Or you mean over here?
Yeah, when this was all going off.
Well, we don't know what that meant. Something was
Something.
interfering with our electronics.
It's the only
The only
it's ever
time it
happened.
happened.
And
at
this
all.
and this was right around what time?
Might have been the middle of the night, I think.
Yeah, it was close to
Midnight.
midnight at that time because we had just gotten touched upstairs. Lyle and I came down to take a break. The girls went upstairs, and we just were.
I think that's
dropping
when they were starting to
everything
see
off.
that shadow up there.
Yeah.
They were starting to see the shadow
Right.
manifest up there.
Right, because
And then we
we were
responded,
calling.
and that's when the monitors and everything started.
Yeah.
So,
Simultaneously, the radios and his wireless camera. You know, there was there's nothing plugged into your radio, so whatever was happening was some kind of energy source that was overpowering all the wireless stuff.
Wow. It
And
was right in this area here.
right here specifically.
Huh.
I mean,
Have you heard anything? What was here that might have caused
No.
anything you heard?
no,
Alright.
nothing else went off. All the
it's
power
very
went
tough
upstairs was fine.
to research the history of this house because there's so many people living
Yeah.
here. And so we're fortunate we kind of know, but then you got to start, you know, reaching out to the people, you know, and finding ancestry. But for close to 5, 6, 7 years, I think it was, this place was just a rental. And it went through multiple rental families. So we don't know, we'll never know what those stories because we'll never know who they were.
And you were saying you were going to bring up something.
Well, the the EMI detector that
The K2?
K2.
Yeah.
Remember that was sitting on the table and that was going off all night. The second the time that we were here, we didn't find nothing anywhere in the whole place.
Now, next thing you said, the basement was another one. Now,
Basement,
that's the one a lot of people talked about because that's where the reported tunnels
Yep.
were.
Yep.
And
Sure.
all the after. Where is it? And we just found out about this chute, this little chute that's
Yeah.
right here. It goes through here and it goes right to where we're going to be going to the basement. And this is where.
The stairs we came right through here.
Well, these look like they're new stairs, though.
Yeah.
So,
So that's where that
Right.
opening
Yeah.
came right to here.
right.
Now these stairs are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All of this was new, so the
It would have been a ladder probably that came straight down.
So this right here would be.
This is there's still leftover stuff from the Halloween house, so people are asking.
So this would have been the tunnel right here,
There's your tunnel.
and if you look in there, it has a dog leg to the left, and it goes back probably a good 20 feet for where you can see.
I think it's a little hard to capture on this
I've got
camera.
a light you can use here on my
Cool.
camera
Alright.
if you want to hold it down there.
Yeah.
At the same time.
But there is a tunnel, because that's the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
You have a light?
Yeah, I'm getting it
Okay.
right now.
Come on this side.
Here, you can just
want to hold them? Hey,
There's the lights on your.
How far?
You hold it
The tunnel went back that way.
Went that way? Oh, I
See
can
it?
see a little bit.
Yeah, if you
Where
hold
you-
your camera up high into the area, it'll capture more of it. There you go. Like that.
I don't think you can see it. I
So
think
watch out
hopefully you
for
can see it
critters back
there.
that might-
You will. I can see it on your monitor right now.
But there's a tunnel that everybody's
so
asking about.
Yep.
So there is such a tunnel.
Yes.
Did you find anything here in the tunnel area?
No. In fact, we plan on doing some more work in this area.
Because I know a lot of people outside, they were asking about the tunnel and if there was anything there, and it sounds like that seems to be a big one of a big Tucker here in town. The tunnel, what's there? What was there? Is there anything left?
We did have from right here.
Mhm.
We did have things come like this is where the rock came through.
Right.
This is where the cold air would come through. This is where the motion detector went off right here. That's where the REM pod was. So really,
Right over here?
The tunnels were back then were used Chinese laborers, opium, and we haven't been able to prove it yet, but more than likely prostitution.
There's been,
brothels.
a lot of been back and forth, but the story is so much alive with this. That's
Well,
how big.
the whole thing is when you have tunnels. There's definitely a tunnel. That's 100%.
All right.
So anybody that's wondering if there's a tunnel, there is a tunnel.
There is a
So-
tunnel.
So that mystery's over.
All right.
Anytime you have these tunnels, they exist in like Williams, Arizona. If you go to Flagstaff, Kingman, Prescott, all these tunnels, we've investigated locations in every one of these cities, and we've gone into the tunnels. We've gone into the tunnels in Williams and stuff like that, and all of those. Once you research them, it all has to do with one of these three things: opium, Chinese laborers, and prostitution.
Do you think is there a possibility that you guys might try to check, go further into the tunnel and
Yes.
look into that?
Yes.
Have
We
you
would
talked to the
we would
owner
like
and?
to work with the owners to reopen this and get in there.
As you can imagine, there's a lot of money that's involved in that.
And a lot of demand, because I know outside people were like, we want to see this tunnel, and we heard like other cities, other places have tunnels. So there is a chance, and hopefully something, we all know what's under there. And do you think it might be all stable all the way through there?
No, not at all.
That's-
It's
Many times as that's flooded.
Right.
there's only one reason why there's a tunnel underground that runs from anywhere,
Mhm.
and it's not legal.
So they're not going to put
So-
much effort into
Yeah.
securing it.
So whatever the reason
Stably,
was that they put that tunnel
safely.
there, it was for something illegal.
Do you know exactly where it ran? Some said they went from here to the train station, the Algarce. Some said went to the river. Did you get any word of where it went?
We think that there was two different tunnels probably, and one went to the river and another one went to the train station. So that's what we think. There's going to be two different tunnels that operate for two different reasons. They could have been boat traffic, bring things in on boats, and then bring them through the tunnels up to this house where it would be distributed. Opium was very popular back then.
So goods, maybe goods related to boat and opium.
Well,
Would you
not
say?
goods.
Not goods.
No.
But you were saying boats. You were saying boats, like not
Boats.
there's
The
boats.
boat would bring it in.
Oh, boats coming in. Then okay, I see
Yeah,
what you
so
mean.
if
Okay,
they
not
brought
going through the
Brought
tunnel.
something illegally,
Smuggling
Yeah.
or drugs.
right? Bringing
Wow.
something illegal downriver, and then from there you come into the tunnel and you bring it into here.
Do you think there might be leftover like stuff that was there, like lights, or maybe if there was any type of furniture?
Could be.
So there is. This has a lot
of
of.
cities and towns filled these tunnels,
Mhm.
and if you go to anywhere, you go you go to Prescott, you go to Williams, you go to these places, and you try to talk to the city or the states about the tunnels. No, we don't know about the tunnels. Nobody wants to talk about the tunnels.
And if you do any research on it, all the government, websites and things suggest that it's all UFO, alien-related crap that you'll never see, or it runs to these secret military bases. So they really played it up to where it's
But here, the mayor, everybody here was based. Hey, here's tunnels. Did they
Yeah,
were
yeah,
open?
yeah.
They opened. They told her that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you
Wow.
talk one-on-one with people, they'll give you their real opinion of it.
Enough people lived in here that they saw that tunnel.
Yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of people have lived in this house, so they all knew that tunnel was there. And those people, those 100 people go out and tell 200, and 200 tell 500. Of course,
Yeah.
after a while, everybody's talking about the tunnel.
Anything else that was found down here in the basement area?
Well, we had the motion sensor
Right
here
there.
that went off,
All right.
and then over
REM pod.
red pod over
A
here,
lot of activity right now.
Yep.
Very.
kind of asking questions, and lights were going off, things like that.
We
When we
had-
get back upstairs, I'll pull it out and show you what a REM
Yeah.
pod is, and you can film it for a couple.
Okay. Yeah.
And then over nothing. Or yeah, we had a
But
rock.
the first night you and I, when we were in separate sides here, we heard that thumping like upstairs.
Yeah.
It sounded like
Rock.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was nobody upstairs?
Nope.
No, we were all down here at that time.
And you heard it from this side or on this side or both?
They're kind of in the middle, I think, around in here somewhere.
Alright.
It sounded like somebody walking above you.
Right.
Whoa. Dang,
That was pretty interesting.
Very good. Anything else on any of the other parts of it?
No. And here's where we have.
Oh.
Well, we heard, it was hard to tell exactly where a noise comes from in the middle of the dark.
Mhm.
So, and of course, everything being in here enclosed echoes everywhere. But we heard something, and whether it was a rock, a piece of concrete, who knows? But it was like that, and that loud. So,
Now, when you guys did it, this was completely dark, no lights.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Whoa.
Everything we do is in pure darkness.
So we'll have an IR
Wow.
scanner so we can see what's going on. Whoever happens to be filming it.
We'll keep
But,
little itty bitty flashlights, just enough so you can see where to walk and when you need
Right,
to get
if
moving. But every time we
something
stop,
happens-
everything goes off and it stays black.
Whoa. So definitely there, whatever was there, you heard it. Dang.
Something got thrown. Something was thrown, hit.
It was a rock.
Yeah.
It was a rock.
You think it was?
It's definitely wrong.
And then, of course, you said something about the video. You said you have a video or something? Or what was it you were saying?
Videos, so
Yeah, a lot of video footage of all this evidence we're talking to you.
All right. I mean, and we're upstairs here. And what is a RAN?
It's called a REM pod. So, and it was designed for paranormal research.
Okay.
So basically, it's got an antenna on it. It has different light colors, and you put it wherever you want to try to talk to somebody. So, and when you're back, you'll ask questions, and you're hoping that something will go near it and respond to it. So, when it's turned on, basically it's just sitting there. So, what we were having, in order to get this thing to go off, you can see, I'm all around it, nothing's happening, but you got to get close enough. That's how close you have to be to make this go off. So we were all, back to here, and we were asking questions. So you'd ask questions, like, are you 5 years old? And, nothing. You say, are you older than 6? And then that happens. Are you older than 7? And that happens. So, and the closer it gets, the more the different colors. With us, everything always was green. A couple times it popped up to yellow, but most of the time everything was green. And so that would indicate that it didn't want to get any closer than this.
Is the colors different? Like, is there color codes like green, yellow?
Yeah, it goes green, yellow, blue, and red.
Whoa.
But that's how it operates. So, but it puts out an electromagnetic field, and the only way that you can make it go off is that something has to get close enough to actually touch it.
Dang. And so that was what was up the stairs, and that's what was making
Different investigations, different
gurney
equipment
downstairs.
on the gurney up downstairs and on the bed.
on the bed. Different
Oh, man.
investigations, different equipment seems to work. You just never know. And it really is up to what this spirit wants to mix with and what it's comfortable with. Some things it doesn't want to mix with, other things it does. This happened to be the thing it wanted to mix with that night, and this was what we were having success with. That's why you have so much different equipment, because you don't know, what it wants to respond to. So whether it's a physical object that we have them manipulate, whether it's electronics, whatever.
Now, the thing you're gonna have all the videos, so people got to see some of it today, but you'll be having the full on your guys'
Well, we won't be
YouTube-
posting
or-
full,
or-
but there'll be partials of things that we captured. So they'll be able to go onto a Facebook, YouTube, nothing on the website, but most stuff will be on those two venues.
And what were the two venues again for people who are wanting to see it?
Well, if you go to Facebook, it's just Route 66 Paranormal Investigators. And then if you go on the website, it's Route66ParanormalInvestigators.com. And they can see and follow everything that we're doing.
And otherwise, separate from the house, how do you like needles? Did
Well,
you?
I've been through Needles tons, so this, we plan on doing a whole bunch more here at Needles. So.
Have you heard of any other places here in Needles that you guys might want to check out next?
We do.
So
we already have some in the radar, but
Good.
we never mention a location
Good.
that we're interested in until we're already done with it.
They have to wait.
Because otherwise what happens is everybody comes in and
Now, were you surprised of how many people showed up today?
we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
We-
nice. It really was.
There was
You
a
know,
lot of.
having everything that we do and then seeing the support of the fans come out, that was pretty incredible. Now I'm sure there was a good mix of it from people being here
Who
for
just
so many
wanted to see
years,
this
wanting
house,
to
you
see this house. This is really a big piece of history. There's a lot of people that have seen this for 20 plus years, and we heard that all day this afternoon.
And a lot of people like the house.
It really is neat. I've got a friend of the family. I had a family member that used to live here. I stayed here and, we've driven by this 20, 30 years and we always wanted to see it.
Now they
Now
got
we
to
finally got to do it. So it it was a really a neat experience to have the public come in.
There were people on our Facebook that were like, "Man, I've been driving past that house for 25 years and always wondered about it." And it's nice now because those people now have learned something about it. Now they know about it, and they're going to know a lot more as time goes on. Everybody's always, I wonder if it's haunted. Well, now people are going to know it's haunted.
Yeah, just like you said about the tunnels, people have questions. Is that really true, or is that just this is the same thing? Is it really true, or is that just a story or a myth? And I think now we've proven it.
Yeah.
So.
Any final words to the public or to the community?
I would like to thank the people for coming out and being patient. It was hot out there. There was a lot of people, a lot of traffic, and the people that stuck it out, thank you very much. It was
Yeah, and I'd echo Jan and Ed letting us come in here and do this investigation. That's without their support and allowing us to come and do it. Because when we come and do these locations,
Yeah, right there. Hey.
we can't get in and do this stuff unless people are willing to open their doors to us. And let's face it, I mean, I was fortunate in running this outfit. I'm a licensed private investigator with the state of Arizona. So people have a tendency to trust me a little more than just somebody who says I'm a ghost group. But for a lot of instances, for us to just come into places like this and people say, here's the keys, open the door, knock your socks off, lock up when you're done. It requires a lot of trust. And fortunately, we've done so many locations now, government, city, everything, where we've had that trust, and we continue to build that. So for them to let us come in and basically take over their home, we got to thank them first, because this wouldn't have happened for us. The community wouldn't have been here learning about it if they would have not opened their doors to the idea.
How many weeks you had to stay to? We gotta ask how many.
We've done 2 full investigations that ran almost 8 hours apiece.
Right.
So we're about 16 hours into that. We're probably about 60 hours into viewing audio, video, and doing evidence reviews. And we're hoping we're going to come back. We want to come back for a 3rd one next month, and because we have some really cool things we want to look at now. Now that we've dialed in who and what might be here and what's happening, now we want to try and dig our energy into that and see what else we can dig up.
Any final words too?
No, the same thing that they said. Thank you to the owners, and thank you to the community. I know it wasn't easy sitting out there, but stay tuned. We got a lot more for you.
Yeah, keep watching us, man. It's we're Mojave County's team, and you're going to be seeing us on TV. You're going to be seeing a lot of cool things happening with us. So keep following.
All right, thank you again for coming to Needles. Thank you, everybody. Thank you again.
Appreciate it.